I just started to see a few things that I didn't like, but I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past.
It says here, he graped me 4 times in the first few months of our marriage. He graped me 4 times in the first few months of our marriage. He graped me 4 times in the first few months of my marriage. Hey, cousins, good morning. We're still talking about the new trophy wife, and I married a monster. I still haven't gotten a chance to go through the video because there's just so many things I want to talk about, but I'm going to make an effort to go through the video this morning. And then I just want to point out some things. Check out that video I did yesterday where she posted something in her community tab, and then she deleted it because she was coming for Shara. And I guess by the time I did the video and went back on her channel, she had deleted it because the people was eating her up in the comments. But go ahead and check that video out. I have the screenshot on my channel. I want to thank you for your love and your support. Thank you so much. And welcome to all of our new cousins. Thank you for those comments. I'm trying to be in the comments as much as I can. If you're new to this channel, I suggest you take some time to kind of get to know me, get to know the type of content I have, because I see a lot of the cousins in the comments like, you must be new over here. Are you new here? Okay, because Cousin Janice has said this. Cousin Janice has been saying, have some money so you could grab your kids and run. So shout out to my everlasting cousins, okay? Okay, I absolutely love you and adore you. So I'm going to go through this video this morning. I married a monster. I just wanted to show you that clip of her saying very early on in the marriage, there were some things that he did that she didn't like, but she thought she could get past it. He raped her 4 times and she thought she could pass it. Now, I do not want you to feel, I am not victim blaming, okay? However, on this channel, we take stories, we go through it, and we try to apply to our lives. And ultimately, I want to help young women of all ages, date better, learn how to properly date, and learn how to choose a good and Christ-like husband. So it might feel like I'm being too harsh. Thank you for those of you who said that's why I'm not getting a lot of you, because my content is hard. You got work. But ultimately, again, I just want to help women. Excuse me. And if I can help 10 women not do what the new trophy wife did, I'm all right. I'm okay. All right. And again, I absolutely love you and adore. Thank you for those of you. Someone commented on my book, 23 Types of Guys You Might Meet. It's available on Amazon. It is my #1 bestseller. And the comment was, another content creator has a book about the number of guys, and she says she's the first to do the type of guys. And what they asked, what year was your book published? It was like 2019. So I checked that other content creator. Her book was just published last year. Okay. So please do not confuse 23 Types of Guys You Might Meet with any other book, because this is a dating, it's a dating book. It's a mini course. If you want to learn how to properly date, that book is perfect for you. I think I started writing that book in 2016, 2017, published it in 2029. All right. I love you. Let's go through this. Okay. So again, my heart goes out to Isis. My heart goes out to the little girls, beautiful little girls. Thank you for believing your daughter when she said what she said. Okay. And thank you for those of you emailing me about the court records, that the court records are not court recorded. Okay. So I don't really have anything to say about that because I don't really understand the court system like that. So I'll just wait to see. Okay. Again, thank you. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up. Let's go back to the beginning. But I just wanted to show you that part that she said he raped her a few months after they got married. AKA, this was before she had the children. Okay, here we go.
Hi, trophies. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. If you hear any noise in the background, that's the new baby. A lot has happened since the last time that I recorded. I think the last time you guys saw me, I was in my second trimester, and yeah, I think I did post an update in the community section when the baby was born.
Okay, so a lot has happened. One of the things that a lot has happened is her husband was arrested for DV. So a year ago, when she was making videos telling you how to be a trophy wife, how to get a man like mine, her husband was arrested for DV. I want you to hear that. When she first came on YouTube making videos telling you how to be a trophy wife, telling women how their coochie smell like tuna, her husband was arrested for DV.
And I said that I would be back soon. And that was a few months ago now. I thought that.
Okay, so she said she would be back soon. Another thing, if you watch the video I did 2 days ago, it has been stated. I do not know if this is true. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and say it's not true. It's a lie. But I'm going to tell you what is being communicated, because I don't want nobody trying to sue me, okay? But one of the things they said was they've been having issues. He wants her to go work. And they've been fighting. He's been abusing her. And, you know, now she's saying what she's saying. Okay?
That when I came back on here, that it would be to maybe do like some kind of newborn favorites or meet my new baby or something like that. But unfortunately, it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband. I honestly don't even really know where to start with this, just because it's just such a hard topic. And I honestly thought that by the time I got on here that I wouldn't have any tears left because I've just cried so much. It's like I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and trying.
Okay. She built this channel and this whole life around being this man's wife. This man who raped her months into her marriage. Ladies, I want you to learn how to hear. Okay, I want you to learn how to hear what you hear and analyze what you hear. I think one of the best things God did for me was being raised with men. And thank God for my father in the faith, Bishop Bradshaw, because he taught me how to hear. I want you to listen to what she said. I built this channel around being his wife. The husband that raped her 4 months into her marriage.
trying to teach other women how to attract good men and
trying to teach other women how to attract good men. The good man that raped her 4 times in the first few months of her marriage. She's trying to teach other women how to attract good men who raped her 4 times early on in her marriage. The man she married in 2 months, the man she left the boyfriend that she was shacking up with, jumped out of his bed to jump into the husband bed after 2 weeks. I want you to hear that. Hear it.
provider man and all this man's wife and trying to teach other women how to attract good men. And
another thing, boo-boo, you just got married. You just got married. What are you teaching? Huh? You just got married. That husband has not been tested and proved. So what are you teaching married women how to attract good men and how to get a provider husband? You just got married, dear. What are you teaching? You don't know. Because he hasn't been tested in the fire. Ladies, when you get married, 5 years, maybe 7, shut your mouth about marriage. You shouldn't be teaching nobody nothing. Because it hasn't been tested or tried yet.
Provider men and all these different things. And I truly held my husband or saw him as the bar.
Okay. And how to attract provider husband. There's nothing wrong with wanting a provider husband. I was listening to a young woman on TikTok responded to this video. She's from one of the those countries over there where their husbands provide. And she said, isn't it crazy that women in the United States have to say they want to provide a husband, or people are mad at her because she want to provide a husband? And she said, as if that's not what husbands are supposed to do. Husbands are supposed to provide. You can't find it in the Bible where any woman marry a man that couldn't provide. Then she said she held her husband to the bar. Which bar? Which bar?
For my husband or saw him as the provider man and all these different things. And I truly held my husband or saw him as the bar.
You saw your husband and held him as the bar to what, ma'am? What was the bar? You met him online. You went out with him. You liked the other guy more. You moved in with him with your sons. He broke up. You called this dude and want to move in. And somebody else said, I was listening. I forgot who it is. She said, this man is not even generous. He's not a generous man, because she was in a bind and she needed someplace to stay for a few months. And he said, you got to marry me. So right there, it should have been bells. He's not a generous, kind, and generous man. But my problem is, which bar are you holding this man at when you said he raped you in the first few months of your marriage? What bar? There was no bar. You did not vet him. He wasn't judged by your pastor or elders. You didn't go to marriage counseling. You didn't talk to anybody about this man. You didn't let the brothers talk to him. So what bar did you hold your husband? But even if you did all of that, you said he raped you in the first few months. So what bar is a rapist? What is the bar for a rapist, ma'am? If by your own confession, he raped you, cousins, let me talk to cousins. I'm not talking to her. Cousins, by her own confession, she said he raped her 4 months, 4 times in the first few months of her marriage. And now she's saying, I held my husband at a bar. Which bar? What was she using to measure him? What was the standard to measuring this man?
For what every woman should, type of held my husband or saw him as the bar. for what every woman should, type of man that, or type of husband that every woman should aspire to have.
Held him at a bar that every man, every woman should aspire to have. The rapists, cousins, the rapists. The bar is that this man is a rapist by her own confession. The bar, ladies, that you should measure a man against is the Lord Jesus Christ. That's the bar. But this man is a rapist. He don't even make it on the measuring thing because he's a rapist. Not only was he a rapist, but when she started making YouTube videos, this man was beating her and was arrested for DV.
And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare.
Okay. She didn't realize the person she married was going to be her biggest nightmare. What do we say over here, cousins, about the two most important decisions of your life? There are two very most important decisions of our lives. Number one is our decision for the Lord Jesus Christ, reject him or accept him. Number two, ladies, is the decision for your husband. Because God's will is for us to spend the rest of our lives with him. We know life happens, stuff happens, divorce happened. God has given us a way out by divorce. But what else do we say over here? A husband is a choice. So please choose wisely. The husband you choose will determine the rest of your life. Come on. The husband you choose will determine the rest of your life. So you can't marry a man in 2 weeks and then come back and say, Lord, I didn't want to be this passionate, but y'all know I'm a preacher at heart. You can't come back and say, I didn't realize he would be my biggest nightmare when, cousins, she said he raped me 4 times. So if he raped you 4 times early on in the marriage before you have kids, I don't understand what makes you think he wouldn't be your biggest nightmare. This is why husbands should not be chosen lightly. Because the husband determines the rest of your life on earth. He determines the type of life you're going to have. And let's go back to what Jesus says, beware of wolves in sheep's clothing. Ladies, dating for marriage. Every man that approach you, I want you to look at him as a wolf. Yeah, he's tall, dark, handsome, good looking, smell good. I love a good smelling man. But look at him as a wolf because you don't know. Okay?
So basically,
let's rewind that a little bit.
Be my biggest nightmare. And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare. So basically, when I first met my husband, as I've already talked about in another video, I think it was my single mom video, I explained, a little bit about how we met. And I really thought that man was my Prince Charming.
How did you think a man that you was in a bond call and say, I need somewhere to go with my boys, can I stay with you for a couple of weeks? And he said, no, we got to get married. And you said, okay, you went out, you bought a ring. In 2 weeks, y'all was married. No data, no vetting, no judged by other men, no marriage counseling, no talking to your pastor, none of the brothers got up in his face, talking to where you from. How? Ladies, how did you think, cousins? How do you think this man was your Prince Charming? What factors did you use to determine this man was your Prince Charming? In my husband profile course, it is a 4-month course. I said 3 months lesson. 4 months. In getting down to the nitty-gritty of the profile of your husband. 4 months. And I can run my husband profile down to you. I knew my husband was my knight in shining armor, my Prince Charming, because he matched my profile. Not only does he match my profile, he had to go to my father and ask my father for my hand in marriage. He was judged by the brothers. He was judged by my pastor and my bishop and my dad. We went to marriage counseling. He had to give me everything. W-2s, investments, retirement, bank account, credit report, blood work, everything. Why? Husband is the second most important decision you will make. Husband determines the rest of your life. And I have a daughter. You're not about to make a mess of my life. You're not about to be no monster in my life and make a mess in my life. So I am going to take the steps, the necessary steps to determine that you are a good man. So cousins, when you say he's my Prince Charming, what factors, where is my ruler? What I gotta get me a big, I'm gonna send my husband to this Home Depot today to get me a big measuring thing. What factors do you use to measure a man in 2 weeks to determine he is your Prince Charming? I want to know. Comment below, cousins. And let's not forget he raped you 4 times early on in your marriage.
I really thought that man was my Prince Charming.
How?
So when I first met my husband, I thought that he was my Prince Charming. I thought that he was my knight in shining armor, and he
How?
portrayed himself to be this amazing, upright, righteous Christian man.
How? 2 weeks. How? Did you talk to his pastor? You went down to the church? What factors did you use to determine he's righteous, Christian, and upright? Because Jesus said they come in as wolves in sheep's clothing. So again, what made you think that?
And I believed him.
You believed him based on what? What, cousins? Documentation, verification. What documentation, verification, evidence, factors did you use to determine he was a Prince Charming, he was a nice and shining armor, he was an upright, righteous, good man? What factors were used to make that determination?
I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with him. And
right after we got married, I noticed certain things changed. Change mean there was already something there that you have to make an adjustments. For example, I live in the Northeast. Y'all know I love winter. I've been mad. Fall, I didn't have no fall. It's still summer, okay? I'm still walking around in flip-flops and slippers. But oh, baby, last night it started to rain. I was like, oh my God, fall is here, fall is here, fall is here. So summer is over. So now we need to change. Ma'am, you married him in a week or two. What changed? You didn't know him. You didn't get to know him. So nothing changed. Those claws that Jesus talked about, wolves in sheep's clothing, just started to come out. But since you didn't give it time to come out before, you ran and jumped in his bed. Now you're seeing the claws and now you're thinking he changed. He didn't change, ma'am. He was always that person. But you did, cousins, she didn't give him time to reveal himself. You have to give a man time to reveal himself.
I just started to see a few things that I didn't like, but I honestly thought
things you didn't like. Did you see them in the 2 weeks before you married him? No, you didn't, because you didn't give it time.
that some of these were things that I could get past.
I thought those are some of the things I could get past. No. That's why the dating stage is necessary. Because if you see those things while you're dating, shout out to cousin sister Kimberly. She said, drop. She said, I wish people would just learn to drop. Okay, shout out cousin sister Kimberly. She was with a guy. I know she wouldn't mind me telling this because she shared her own story. She was just with a guy for 2 years waiting for him to marry her. And she read 10 years of girlfriend and she dropped him. And I'm waiting for cousin sister Kimberly to come tell us her testimony. I don't want to tell it for her. So you have to give these men time to reveal themselves. You can't say he changed because you didn't know who he was before. Cousins, I'm talking to you. Here it is. She said she thought she could get past. I don't know. I've never been raped. Thank God. Thank God. Praise the Lord Jesus. I have never been raped. I have never been assaulted as an adult. I shared in my book, Praying for Our Children, how a family member fondled me. Okay, I hope little Michael's not hearing this because he got good ears like me. He'll go, Mommy, what does that mean, fondled? How this person was touching my little, my you 9, 8, 9, you little things start to come up, and I've shared that. But I've heard other women testify about being raped. So for those of you who don't mind sharing, how do you get past being raped 4 times? How do you think you could live with being raped 4 times?
It was like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things.
Oh yeah. Oh, she said it. She said it. It's so sad to say that I could get past some of these things. So by her own confession, because she is saying, that's sad to say that I would say get past it, because I don't know how you could get past being grieved. Michael's coming downstairs. Oh, Michael's coming downstairs. Okay. Hi, honey. What are you doing?
Trying to find my cards and case.
Okay. Let's check upstairs on your bookshelf. Okay. He's gone.
I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old.
Michael, could you please go upstairs and let me finish this video? I love you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive.
Okay, stop here. Cousins, I'm going to ask some questions, and I do not want you. Well, let me just say, I know my cousins know me. So if anybody think I'm victim blaming, it's not one of my cousins, somebody that's new. I have a question. Y'all are mamas. Let me play a little bit more. Okay. So, oh, y'all wasn't hearing that.
Thought was, did someone touch her? I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh God. Gosh. So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me.
Okay. And I'll probably end it here because it's time for me to go. She was changing her 4-year-old. When I heard that, I'm like, changing a 4-year-old? 4-year-olds don't need changing, right? Except if they're, as a special needs mom, developmentally delayed, that they can't help themselves. Even though my daughter's special needs, she was potty trained by 2.5. Little Michael was potty trained. He was potty trained by 2. It was at 14 months. He was walking around the daycare, taking off his diapers, his pull-up, walking around. And so the director was like, okay, bring him briefs. So at 14 months, little Michael was wearing briefs because he didn't like to pull up. Changing a 4-year-old. I'm not sure what that means. Because 4-year-olds pretty much knows how to, should, and I've seen the pictures of the little girl, beautiful little girl. I saw the picture of her mixing the bacon thing on her page. I got a question about changing a 4-year-old to see that she's red and sensitive and itchy. Well, not itchy. And you was also home with her all day. So if you were changing a 4-year-old at the end of the day, did you not change her throughout the day for you to see that she's red and sensitive? Because you said you knew your husband was soon to come home, and you asked her, did somebody touch you? Now, 4-year-old, this is a touch, okay? A 4-year-old do not understand that abuse down there is a touch. This is what my doctor, I love her. She's been my doctor since I was 16 years old. She said, do not use fake names with body parts. Tell them what it is. It is nobody is supposed to do anything down there. So cousins, I need you to explain to me changing a 4-year-old, that she noticed she was red and sensitive down because you were home with the 4-year-old all day. Nobody else was there, right? By her own confession, her husband was at work, the boys were in school, and she was changing the 4-year-old at the end of the day. She didn't say at the end of the day, but I'm making the assumption it's the end of the day because her husband was coming home and her husband went to pick up the boys from school. That's the end of the day. Correct? Kids don't go to school at night. Kids go to school in the day and they get off. So her husband was soon to come home. She said, don't tell daddy. Did somebody touch her? She said, it was daddy. So my doctor was like, you don't say touch, hurt. Did you? Because this is a touch. This is a touch. You could be cleaning her and that's a touch. So my doctors say, do not say touch because this is a touch. Say hurt. Did somebody hurt you? What happened? Mamas, I'm going to ask you this. My kids, when anything hurt, they come tell me. Little Michael's name. Little Michael. His name is Michael Elias Thompson Jr. No. His name is Michael Band-Aid Triple Antibiotic Cream Elias Thompson Jr. Because anything happened to him, anything hurts, he's not going to walk around all day and not come say it to me. Lexi is 30. You know, Lexi's special needs adult. Lexi will wake up in the middle of the night and say, Mommy, my stomach hurt. My throat hurt. My hair's itching. So cousins, y'all, I have kids. I want you to help me out in the comments how a 4-year-old, and I'm not saying I don't believe her. I'm just trying to understand how a 4-year-old walked around all day being sensitive down there, being hurt down there, and didn't say anything to mommy. Didn't say anything to mommy that it hurts down there. And I don't understand changing a 4-year-old because 4-year-olds are supposed to be in panties, with the exception if they're developmentally delayed and they're not able to control their bodily fluids, so on and so forth. But even then, you didn't change the baby all day. She was walking around in a diaper all day until the end of the day. And what happened last night? Come on, ladies, especially women. We've had, I'm 47. I've only had, what's the itchy thing called? One time. What's the itchy thing called? What is it called? I forgot. Because I know a lot of women have issues with that. I've only had it one time. I was sick, my throat, and my doctor gave me some antibiotics. And the throat got better, but then the kidneys start itching. And I called her. I was like, oh my God, Dr. So-and-so, what's going on? And she was like, oh, antibiotics caused that. And then she gave me something to put down there. But we're not going to walk around as grown women all day with discomfort down there. So cousins, I just want you to explain that to me in the comments. Again, I am not saying I don't believe her, but cousins, what I want you to do is I want you to hear what people say, and I want you to analyze it. What we say over here, women are emotional, men are analytical. We need, as women, we need to be more analytical because as choosing our husbands, we need to hear what they say, minus, add, plus, divide, multiply it, and all of that stuff so we can know he's a woo. I absolutely love you. I will finish this later, but I just want to know what you think. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Mwah. Talk to you later. Thank you again for all the new cousins. Shout out to all the wonderful new cousins. Again, Watch some of my dating content. For those of you who are new, watch some of my dating content so you can really get a feel for me and my content, because my content is different from everybody else. Ain't nobody on YouTube teaching what I teach, okay? Love you, love you, love you, love you. Thank you. Bye.